Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing something very different. We're creating a DIYs out of $10 Dollar Tree items. And this video is part of the June mini hop that I'm hosting. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. Now let's go ahead and start with the DIY number one. For this project, I went ahead and got the canvas from the Dollar Tree. And the first thing I want to do, I will just take the staples off and I will be left with a frame and a canvas separately. I will then sand the canvas because it was not smooth and I really wanted a smooth surface as much as possible. After that, I will go ahead and take the canvas and cut it out to the size of the frame. After that, I'm taking this Waverly chalk paint in a color ink and I will paint the canvas portion completely. So I wanted it to be really covered completely. Then I will dry it with my heat gun, and after that I will go ahead and I will attach it to the frame. I wanted to make sure it is smooth as possible, so actually tight as possible, while I'm gluing it. I'm just using a hot glue for this. Okay, next I'm taking bamboo skewers from the Dollar Tree and I am putting them in an angle in a top left portion of this frame, and I am then going to take this tacky glue from the Dollar Tree and I will put it on it and attach it to the frame. Now the first one I put a little more glue than I wanted and it kind of came out of, aside from the bamboo skewer, so I had to clean it up. For the next ones, I knew better, so I just put a little bit and I spread it with my fingers. So as you see me over here, I'm going towards the top left corner, so I'm cutting the smaller and smaller pieces and just attaching them next to each other, leaving just a little space in between, maybe like one bamboo skewer space in between. So this is how it looks when this is done, and I'm going to do the same thing on the opposite side, starting with one and going all the way up. And when everything was done, this is how it turned out. Oh guys, I really like this piece. I started to get more into that kind of a modern feel, but I still like my, rustic DIYs, but this does have that modern feel, and I really like the simplicity and just these two tones. I love the earth tone and I also love the black, but I want to hear what you think about this one. Okay, let's talk about this hop. This is a June mini hop that I'm hosting. I gathered these wonderful ladies to play along with me. There is Kamara from Dying to DIY, Lisa from Lisa and Company. Then there is Corey from Crafted by Corey and Olga from Olia DIY Adventures. They're all amazing. And we decided we're going to go ahead with Dollar Tree items, but to take $10 worth of Dollar Tree items and create whatever we like with that. Since this is a hop, there is going to be a link to the next person in the hop in my description box, so go ahead and check that out after watching my video. DIY number two. For this project, I'm using this cutting board and this hat. So I like the color of the cutting board. I'm going to leave it as it is. And then I'm taking the hat and I will first take off the bow and all the glue that's left behind. There was not much, but there was on one spot that really got stuck, so I had to peel it off. So I'm finding the beginning of this hat and I'm raveling this part, the bottom part of the hat, and I'm leaving just the top, the head part. And I am cutting this portion in half, and that is going to be kind of a base for my planter. I will wrap this around the cutting board and I will hot glue first the bottom part on the back, and then I will just fold the ends in. First I made it a little bit looser, then I went back and fixed it to make it a little bit tighter. When that was done, I decided to go ahead and get this onion grass from the Dollar Tree. I pulled out these, I think they're not flowers, they're butterflies. And then I cut this out to the length that I would like because it was too long for my project. And I just put it in. After this part was done, I thought I was done, but then it looked a little too plain. So I'm taking this Waverly chalk paint in a color ink, and I am painting the bottom portion, so kind of 2 rows on a bottom, and then I'm skipping one and I am painting one more row above that. So one more line. I was very careful to paint the edges of those rows, making sure they're nice and crisp. So you see me over here painting that one extra line. And when I was done painting, I just dried it quickly with my heat tool. And that will be it for this project. I really like this project. It was very simple. You know me, I like simplicity. And this has that touch of nature and touch of modern feel. But also, I think it is still rustic somehow. So I want to hear what do you think about this project? What would you change? Would you maybe paint it differently? Would you put different kind of flowers? I want to hear from you. What do you think? Friends, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Jelena, stay-at-home mom of 2 kids. I love crafting. I love doing DIYs. I have been doing them forever, and everything that I do, it's on a budget. I really like to stay within the budget, and I like to share that with you guys. I like to explore new things. I create rustic, modern farmhouse styles, and I really hope you guys like it. If you do, make sure to come and stay on my channel. I would love to have you. DIY number 3. For this project, I'm taking these wood planks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take the rectangle shape. I'm going to take 2 of them, and I'm going to add a tacky glue in a mixture with hot glue, and I'm going to hot glue them together in an L shape. So I'm going to create a corner, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other one. So I'm going to have 2 of those L-shaped corners. When I was done with that, this is what I'm left with, and I'm just gonna hot glue them, or actually glue them together to create this kind of a vase. I really think this is so cute. And now I'm gonna sand out the edges, especially where the glue has dried. When I was done sanding it, I am taking some craft sticks and I cut them out to the width of the bottom of the vase. So I cut 3 of them. That's gonna be the bottom of the vase. I needed something, so I cut out 3 of them, and then 1 extra that's gonna go across, and I'm just hot gluing them together. Nothing special to it. And then I'm hot gluing that to the bottom portion of this vase. After all this is done, I'm gonna go ahead and paint the vase. That was my first original thought, to paint it with this chalk paint, the ink that I've been using today. And after I was done with 2 sides, I decided it is a little too dark, so I went and gotten the wet wipes, and I decided to go ahead and kind of distress it. So take as much as I can to leave it down to the stain effect. And at first it was a little bit challenging to take this much off, but after I was completely done, this is how it turned out. I love it way more than completely black because it shows that wood grain texture. I'm going to sand the edges a little bit, and that's going to give even more distressed look. After I was done with that, I'm taking this dry flower bunch from the Dollar Tree. It is kind of a whitewashed, and I'm putting a little bit of paper towel on the bottom and putting them in. And that's gonna be it for this project. How simple was this to make, but look how beautiful. So elegant, touch of rustic, and also touch of modern feel. That's exactly what I feel when I'm looking at this. I absolutely love it, but I wanna hear what you think about this one as well. If you guys are on social media, I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Please come and say hi. I would love to get to know you. Also, I would like to remind you that my regular upload times are Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Sometimes that changes, and I always try to let you know in advance if that happens. DIY number 4, my last DIY for today. First, I'm going to take 5 Jenga blocks, and I am going to hot glue them together. First 3 stacked on top of each other, actually next to each other, and then 2 I'm going to hot glue to the sides. And this is going to be that rectangle shaped base. Now I'm taking bamboo skewers and I'm cutting them to the 3 inches size. There's going to be 14 of them. And now I'm hot gluing them. I am actually attaching them to that base. And I am first starting with the corners, and then I am putting them, spacing them out on the sides as well. So you see what I'm doing over here. So I'm gonna go all the way around, spacing them out until I am completely done. So I wanted these bamboo skewers to kind of create shape for this planter so I can build up on it, if that makes any sense. You will see in just a minute what I'm trying to do over here. So when everything was done, this is how it looks like. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get that hat piece, that strip, this big strip that I actually took off, and I'm going to start in one corner. I'm going to hot glue a little bit around that corner, so starting from the inside, and I'm going to go around and around, adding hot glue, making sure everything stays in place. And when I was done wrapping that all, I thought at first this is going to be my base, the bottom portion, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the second layer, second strip, starting the same way. I am putting a little hot glue and I am starting to wrapping around that first corner. And then I thought I am going to start weaving it in and out, in and out. But once I started doing that, I really didn't like that those bamboo skewers are showing up and there was no way to, cover them up later. So I went back and decided I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same thing I did on the bottom. So just hot gluing them to those bamboo skewers, but I decided to press them down a little bit, creating still that wavy pattern as you see me doing it over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 more layers, or actually 2 more rows of these strips. I had to cut down these bamboo skewers for maybe a little bit, not even half an inch, just so it can fit perfectly 4 strips. So when I was done, this is how it turned out. I decided to add few of the Jenga blocks on the bottom. I think I added first 4 and then I added 2 more to the sides, and that way it will hold this succulent in place. And that's it for this super, super simple yet cute planter. Tell me what you think about this one. Also, I want to hear from you what you think about all of the projects you saw. Would you recreate any of them? Would you change something? If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and share this video. Also subscribe. I would love to have you. Make sure to go ahead and check out my description box for the next person in the link. I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank all the ladies that participated in this hop. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.